Surprise! So I guess I am the surprise. I am Shannon Malcolm Daniels, but I will try to step up into her shoes today in this episode. But in case some of you are just tuning in today and you're wondering, like, what is this, Zaf? I know you host a lot of shows. So today, in this episode of What Are Yourself Wednesdays, we're going to talk about living your optimal life. But you know what? I was thinking about how should I start this off, and I thought about, living our best life looks differently for everybody, right? Because one thing many of us have in common is that we're always striving to have an optimal life, right? Something that we truly share and we bond over. And there seems to always be something that holds us back. That's a story for a different day. Today had a lot of them, relationships, career, things happening. People call it Mercury retrograde. And, we just want to live an optimal life, right? So let's tune in this episode of Living Your Optimal Life and Water Yourself Wednesdays. We'll be right back.
Listen, Wednesdays may be a hump day for some people, but it need not be for you. How would it feel to just hit pause for a moment? A chance to refresh and re-energize your mind, body, and spirit. Let's find out together on the Water Yourself Wednesday show. Tune in as real women share their stories of triumphs and transformations and how they have manifested the lives that they desire and truly deserve.
Yes, whoop whoop. We all truly deserve, right? And in case you're just tuning in, you're wondering what is this show all about? Well, What Are Yourself Wednesdays? When we started the show, we thought, Wednesdays need not be a hum day for many people, right? But it can always be a day that we pause for a moment because it is in the middle of the week, right? A chance to refresh and re-energize your mind, body, and spirit. And we thought, what would be better to start a journey of transformation here on the Water Yourself Wednesdays show. So today in this episode, I'm really excited. I'm just gonna, do a little bit of an introduction of who our guest is. She's not, somebody new in our circle, not somebody new in our tribe. So if you've seen her and you know her, do drop a hello in the comments so we can say hello to all of you out there, right? Make sure you do a shout out, share this out. All right. This episode is all about transformation, living the life you desire and deserve. I just want to read a little bit more about the gal I'm talking about. So she is Dr. Davia Shepherd. Well, that's not me. Sheldon Malcolm Daniels is supposed to be here today, but I'm just filling in for her. But I also want to share a picture from one of our recent, get together with Dr. Davia, and she's all the way on the right there. And if you notice, the person in the middle was our guest speaker last week. So that said, let me read a little bit about Dr. Davia. So just a little bit, so I'll let her come on and have a little bit more fun with us, So she's an amplifier. If you don't know what it is, she combines 2.5 decades of experience in corporate as well as running her own community practice. And she has this innate ability to translate the energetic signature of the best version of you into words. That's amplifiers, right? That big dream that you didn't even know you had for both your business and your life. And she's also the founder of Ladies Power Lunch. So help me welcome Dr. Davia Shepherd to the show. Whoop, 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 whoop. We had to take a moment to breathe a little. Look, I love that. How are you feeling today? Welcome to the show.
I am wonderful.
I could use some of that right now.
I am wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
We're putting it out there into the universe that we're all wonderful. So today we're talking about living your optimal life. So I want to get us started with just jumping because we don't have much time, but I just want to jump into this question asking you because this transformation is about your transformation and we would love to hear about it. What does living your optimal life mean for you, Dr. Davia?
This is a beautiful question. And I think When you say live your optimal life, a lot of people think that it means a lot of different things, but actually it doesn't. It really, really doesn't. Living your optimal life. I was talking to a girlfriend of ours earlier today, and I was saying to her, living your optimal life doesn't mean that you're driving a Maybach and you have butterflies coming out of your behind. It's not about that. It's about being able to be the best version of you, to have your inner peace, even when things around you might not be looking as though they're going in the best possible way.
Of course, Zeph is muted. Take two. I was saying, that picture that I shared earlier is pretty much an example of my definition of an optimal life because I took the time to squeeze some time, hold space for the people that matter to me, right? And for me, I am living an example, a quick, maybe 25% of my optimal life right now because I get to spend it with people who matter in my life. What do you think? Or what do you think?
Well, what I know is that many of us aren't living a life that we would consider optimal. There
Mm,
is we have very privileged lives. I mean, most of us have basic needs met, but we might have something going on in our life that is causing us some kind of distress. It could
mhm.
be relationship, it could be relationships with partner or friends, it could be health, it could be something to do with your career or finances, it could be something to do with your spiritual growth. If one piece of that puzzle isn't going in the direction that you want it to, a lot of the times we can allow that to derail everything. And
Mhm.
so, in my very humble opinion, what it really means to me to live my optimal life is to be able to, even when something else might not be going well, to still be able to find the joy and the gratitude in the things that are going well.
I love that you mentioned that. And since you're talking about that, I do have this question because, living an optimal life is such a process, right? It's just not, okay, I'm here. I've
I'm
arrived.
optimal.
Right? It's always a process. So, can you tell us about a time maybe that you weren't living your optimal life? What did that look like for you? And why do you feel that you weren't living it optimally?
So, how long is this show?
I knew she was going to go there. Like, how much time do you have? Like, just a quick version, but just enough for our audience to get a feel of, what that looked like for you and how you managed it.
I think people are really going to relate to this, Seth. I
Mhm.
was, I'm going to rewind a little bit farther back.
Whee!
I my husband and I, we had infertility issues,
Mhm,
and finally we were able to have this beautiful, beautiful baby. But
mhm,
baby came right at the time when I started in private practice. So I'm just
mm.
started in practice, and I'm also just having this brand new baby. And my beautiful, loving, amazing baby, he wouldn't sleep through the night, not even
Oh,
one time. For 18 months of his life, he did not sleep through the night, not even one time. And keep in mind, I am brand new in
wow.
practice. So
Mm.
I have to grow my patient list, and I was out there networking everywhere that there was networking. I was everywhere. People were even like, "Didn't I just see you this morning and at lunchtime? And now we're at
That's
the
very
evening."
her.
I was at all the things.
Yeah.
And of course, my poor body was suffering as a result of this because I wasn't sleeping at night. I was
Yep.
up with my baby. And then I was working all day. And then I was networking in the evenings and then ready to do it all over again. I wasn't losing my baby weight fast enough for me either. And so I decided, you know what, I'll add to this. I'll just start training for the Hartford Marathon. Well, my body recognized that that was a fool's errand. And
Mm.
so I started to show up with some very strange symptoms. 7 doctors later and 2 surgeries, we realized that what was happening was I had actually put myself into so much stress that
Mm.
I had developed an autoimmune condition.
Wow. That is
But the
powerful.
good news is, and I tell patients sometimes that, when we see things show up in our lives, like health issues showing up that can be turned around, these are sometimes blessings in disguise, and not really blessings in
Yes.
disguise, but it depends on how what we do going forward.
Yeah.
That's what makes all the
How do we
difference.
respond
And it was
to it?
exactly, and it was a wake up call for me to say to me that, listen, you're out there taking care of patients all day long, every day. Guess who also needs to be taken care of?
And that's
Me.
why we call it water yourself, right? And that's the part that you're talking about right now. So tell us a little bit about what did you do? How do you bounce back and went into a transformation journey in that sense where you start watering yourself and so that you can head towards living an optimal life. I mean, what does water yourself mean to you at that time
Well,
or
what
look
it
like?
meant to me is that I had to start to give myself the same sort of compassion that
Mm, I
I
love
would
that.
give to a patient. Because if a patient had walked into my office and said to me, I have a newborn baby, I have a new job, and I'm training for the Hartford Marathon, I would have said, hold on a second. How are you taking care of you? Are you doing all the things that you need to do for your own health and wellness? Are you even sleeping at all at any point in time? So I had to look at all the all the touch points that we look at for health and wellness and well-being. I had to start I before this, like, I had never even considered meditation to be something that I would want to ever get involved with. I had to
Mhm.
slow myself all the way
The
down,
way down.
make time for me. Actually, I remember around that time there was a book called Miracle Morning that came into my sphere, and I thought to myself the timing for this was really, really perfect because my mornings changed completely, and I had developed a morning routine to include meditation, listening to something motivational, doing affirmations, doing some yoga in the morning, just all the things to really get in touch with myself
Lovely.
again.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. And I think I would love for you to kind of share. I think this is probably your inspiration, if I'm guessing this right, that you have an event that's coming up, right? Would you like to share that with our audience because it also carries. I'm having goosebumps as I speak because I can feel all these goosies. Yeah, people, Zev Goosies hashtag is real. I can feel this energy of the same title with our show today, which is Living Your Optimal Life. And I you have an event that's coming up that has the same name. Can you share it with our audience a little bit about the event?
Okay, yes. On October 16th, I have this amazing group of women who are from our Ladies Power Lunch group, and they are here to share their gifts and talents with the world. The name of the summit is Live Your Optimal Life. And we're going to be share we're calling it a summit, but truly it's more of a retreat because every single one of our presenters is going to come and share with us workshop style. I've been to so many events where I go, I learn the thing, but then I leave and somehow never integrate all the
Mm,
things I learn into my life.
exactly.
And so, what we want to make sure is that when folks come to Summit, when they leave, their lives are changed, their lives are transformed, they're closer than ever before to living their optimal life, no matter what area we're talking about, because we
Yep.
have speakers talking on all different things, whether we're talking about romantic relationships or familiar or friend relationships, whether we're talking about careers, finances, we could be talking about
A
health
rough
and
day.
wellness, we could be talking about spirituality, we could be talking about just getting over having a day that's a little challenging. You know,
Yes.
we have
Yes.
so many outstanding speakers who are going to bring you into the conversation so that you can apply these principles to yourself.
100%. And folks, I'm going to tell you this. This picture was taken at one of the summits. And I think it was this year, earlier this year. It was an April summit, right, Dr. Davia?
Yes.
And we actually, I want to tell you, I had so many aha moments after that. And, we talk about transformation and then, living an optimal life leading to that. But that particular time that I had made space, because I made a commitment, to go on this transformational journey. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go. And that's the example of something that all of you could experience at this upcoming October 16th summit. Where can they get that information? Is there a website that I can type in and let everybody share?
Yes. So it's really easy. Just go to growsmarter.com/ticket. And folks can go there
Yay!
and they can get their ticket for Summit. But wait, there's
Wait,
more.
there's more.
If you get your ticket, we don't just want you to get a ticket and come to Summit. Actually, all the speakers have contributed to an anthology where they share their story of transformation. And at the end of each chapter, there are worksheets where people can actually integrate all the things that they are learning from the anthology. So folks are going to get a ticket to Summit. They're going to get a ticket to Summit Bonus Day. They're going to get the anthology in paperback. They're going to get access to the Kindle copy of the anthology. And they're going to get Summit swag because we love to have a nice
Woohoo!
little swag bag.
Love that. Love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's really an important, as we, wind down towards the end of the year, everyone's thinking about, hey, what does next year look like for me? Right. So this will be a
Mhm.
great kickstart to the new year. That said, before we end, I do have a final question for you. And that question is, what do you think is the biggest lesson in your transformational journey of living your optimal life that you shared with us today that probably our audience can, learn, or maybe if they resonate with that, they probably go like, that I took that away too from what from what Dr. Davia shared today. So, what would you say, your biggest lesson you've learned from your own transformational journey leading to living an optimal life?
Put your mask
Just
on
taking a
first.
deep breath.
Put your mask on first. You know,
Mm.
you go on your airplane, you see that little pamphlet that's in the seat pocket in front of you, and you see them say, "Put your mask on first." You know, the person who I would be the one who would be around helping everybody else put their mask on, and then I pass out in the corner because I didn't put my mask on. That
I love
that
that you said that.
that's the lesson for all of us. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I have
Nope.
legitimately tried to do it, and Nothing.
To put your mask on first. That said, I just want to say thank you so much to Dr. Davia Shepherd for sharing her transformational journey with us today on the show. And I know there's so much more. And I'm like, oh my God, each time I look at this picture, I just like, when is the next summit? When is the next summit? So, when is the next retreat? So make sure everybody goes to this website. So I'm going to put out the website again. And that's basically the website, growsmarternotharder.com/ticket. Am I right? Yes, and it's October 16. I'm putting that up. Oh, let me see. I'm going to put up the date, which is October 16 right here. And it's Ladies Power Lunch, Live Your Optimal Life Summit. Well, thank you so much for sharing your transformational journey with us today on Water Yourself Wednesdays. Make sure everybody connect with Dr. Davia. If you go to this website, you'll find more information on her upcoming Live Your Optimal Life Summit. All right, everybody. I just want to say thank you, Dr. Davia, for sharing your story. One more, take a look at how we're all glowing and smiling in this picture. I would never forget that moment. But anyways, I see somebody saying, so she says, so Shannon's here with us and she says, Summit is the best. Please join us there. And she also said, you can't help everyone else if you're passed out in the corner. No. And she's just also saying, finally down at the computer store. Sorry to have missed this. Can't wait to watch the replay. You're welcome, Shannon. All right, everybody. I just want to say thank you all for tuning in with us here at Water Yourself Wednesdays. Until the next episode. Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the show. We hope the stories shared have inspired you to water yourself. Your transformation begins here. Until next time, keep on manifesting the life you desire and truly deserve. The Water Yourself Wednesdays show is a production of Engage LLC and is brought to you by Water Yourself Retreat. Get more information about the event and community support at wateryourselfretreat.com. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube.